hourly rate, so that if your employees who are at home during the pandemic are sitting there like, hey, boss, my 10-year-old laptop just went kablooey. What are we going to do? Well, we could take it to Best Buy. No. Zane's talking about Blue Frost IT. They'll do it for half the price that they normally do, 616-200-8550. And your company does have an IT department, even though it's a small or medium-sized business. You just don't know it. You just got to call upon the services of Blue Frost IT. It's your IT department right there. You don't have to pay insurance or anything. How about that? And they can remote in. They can just do just about anything to make sure that your tech is up and running the way it should be. Thank you to the sponsors. If you do patronize the sponsors, as always, please mention my name, that you heard it right here. That helps make things work. All right, on your mark, get set, go!
And now, here's a guy who got tired of being fired by corporate radio. So he took up being fired by Patreon subscribers instead. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast.
Thank you, Johnny. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. As you know, this is a daily expletive-filled rant full of news, nonsense, and my personal adventures and stories. That's what we got going today. I'll tell you that right now. Thank you so much for being here inside the fear bunker. I gotta make sure as I do the show, I'm often like, okay, what sign am I obstructing the view of? I think it looks okay and good. Don't move a muscle. All right, man. My gosh, we've got Dear Meathead happening with my beloved 86-year-old father. I just spoke with them last night, and that happens in about 55 minutes. I can't wait to get Dad on, and I know he is a big part of the week on this show, and everybody loves my dad. You can send your questions along. I'm a little lean on the questions, but I'm always very confident that you folks will come through. If you're new to the show, it is an advice segment with my dad. Sometimes it doesn't always make the best sense, but the way he says it is what's the most fun. You can send your questions into eric@ericzaneshow.com. They can be questions about anything, life, raising your family, odd jobs around the house, his thoughts on the world, and on and on and on. The simpler, the better. And you can send them along to eric@ericzaneshow.com. I would love to see what he thinks about whatever it is that you want to ask him. So send those along, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Thank you. So there's that. I feel like healthier now. Well, the last time I felt this healthy was the last time I lost a ton of weight. And some of you might be like, well, Zane, you're not really like a fat ass. No, I am. You just can't see it. It's all like here. It's on my belly. That's where it accumulates. And I'm not happy with it. I've always been quite lean, but me pushing 180 pounds when I'm not even 5'8" is way out of the norm. I've always remained at about my high school weight, in the ballpark of between 150 and 160. And being a runner and a triathlete for years, I don't do that anymore, but I still run. It really was bothering me. So thank God for the diet bet, because I've fluctuated. I've been on the wagon, off the wagon. But the key is, if you don't have a goal, holy crap, is it hard. If you're just like dieting and you don't really have a point to it, it makes it harder. You can do it, but it's just harder. So Zaniac Megan, a very dear friend of the family, and, of course, one of the people in charge at Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid, came up with Diet Bet, which I don't even know what the hell that was going in. And she's like, yeah, it's a platform. Everybody bets $15. In this case, you can make it as much money as you want. And then you set a goal, and you got to lose 4%. Actually, the goal is 4% of your body weight. You weigh in, and then at the end of the diet bet, which is 4 weeks, 4% of your body weight, you weigh in, and then at the end of the diet bet, which is 4 weeks, 4% of your body weight, you weigh in, and then at the end of the diet bet, which is 4 weeks, 4% of your body weight, you weigh in, and then at the end of the diet bet, which is 4 weeks, 4% of your body weight, you weigh in, and then at the end of the diet bet, which is 4 weeks, 4% of your body weight, you weigh in, and then at the end of the diet bet, which is 4 weeks, 4% of your body weight, you weigh in, and then at the end of the diet bet, which is 4 weeks, 4% of your body weight, you weigh in, and then at the end of the diet bet, which is 4 weeks, 4% of your body weight, you weigh in, and then at the end of the diet bet, which is 4 weeks, 4% of your body weight, you weigh in, and then at the end of the diet bet, which is 4 weeks, 4% of your body weight, you weigh in, and then at the end of the diet bet, If you make the goal, you get your money back. And then for all the people that didn't make the 4% weight loss, everybody else divides their money. All the people who won the diet bet get to divide their money. So I'm rooting for you, but at the same time, no, I'm being silly when I say, yeah, I want you to lose. I want you to hit your goal. I would love it if everybody in our group hit the goal, but that's not easy to do. So we got a ton of people that are in on the diet bet. And so my 4% is, hell, it's like 7-8 pounds. And obviously the heavier you are going in, the bigger the percentage. Diana's is or the bigger that, not the percentage, the bigger the number of pounds lost. So I've already, her and I have both destroyed it. Okay, we could eat like pigs from now to the end of it, and we probably would still hit the goal, maybe, because not this coming Monday, but the Monday after that is when it's over, man, over. Actually, I take that back. Yeah. Not this coming Monday. Wait a minute. When is the bet over? If today's 20, I guess I'll have to double check when the actual bet is over. I think it's the 28th is when the diet bet is over. So we don't have much time at all. If you've been struggling, my God, you better put the trash bags on and jump on the exercise bike and, go for 15 hours a day if you haven't lost any weight yet on the diet bet. But Diana and I are killing it, and I owe it all to Megan and the diet bet and the goal, because now it's all about momentum. I'm loving this. I'm down 12 pounds. Oh, my gosh. Now, I still look like garbage. Look at this fat gut. Hello. Look how fat. But you can see it's thinner. It's still real jiggly and gross, and I still got some titties right here. But I bet you didn't think you were going to see that this morning. But I feel great, and I've been following the rules on the keto thing. That's the route we're going. You go your route. It doesn't matter, however you do it. And, man, it's this is what happens on keto. Those first few days suck so bad. All I wanted was a s'more. Someone give me a s'more. And then it finally faded. I did slip. I pounded some Honey Nut Cheerios one night into oblivion, like half a box. And Diana yelled at me. And then she cheated another night. She had like a frozen, a Froyo. Isn't that what it's called? Froyo? Frozen yogurt? Froyo. So, but all in all, it's been great. And now I started doing P90X again. Doing my push-ups from my knees, my assisted push-ups. And I feel awesome, man. My energy's through the roof. I've got a new, I just feel great. So I'm so happy that this has happened. If you're struggling, keep at it. Keep at it. Email me. I'll talk you through it. This is not easy to do, but I'm with you. We might even do another one when it's done, another diet bet. Hell, I'm gonna dwindle away to nothing. Shit, yeah. Made a Big Mac chaffle yesterday. I know, Zane, we hear you like making chaffles, cheese waffles. A Big Mac chaffle. I had a Big Mac yesterday. They tell you in the recipe, and it's linked in the Facebook Live that I posted, of me making the damn thing. Watch the video, it'll tell you how to do it. But the recipe's on there. It's actually on the what I typed out for the intro of the chaffle making recipe. Cooking with Zane. Eric Zane Show podcast, Cooking with Zane. And you got 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, which they show you how to make, like the special sauce. Lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a chaffle. And the chaffle is made from egg, mozzarella cheese, and garlic salt. It's in other times that I've dieted, ate appropriately, it gets to be like work because you're eating, oh boy, great. Here's some chicken breast, ranch. Oh yeah, I've had this 8 million times. Oh my God. It's like I ate a gigantic from McDonald's Big Mac, but better. Oh, so happy. I'm just so happy. All right, Zane, get to it. What's this big story you're talking about? I think I detailed it on the tease as a very serious but uplifting and hopeful personal story. This might be, and for some of you folks on YouTube, in all seriousness, you who watched the Patreon yesterday, I made a mistake and opened it up to like the public. So I don't know, maybe 20, 30 people of you watched it know this story. But I spoke with the other person who's involved in this, and I said, hey, man, I spilled the beans a little. Do you mind if I tell it to the broad audience on the podcast? And this person said, yes. No, I don't mind. Please do. And I said, I'll keep you anonymous because this person's really private. But, man, something has happened and in the most, I believe, religious, God talking to me way that has ever happened. It's bigger than anything that I've been involved in. I had a feeling like this when do you remember when Haiti had an earthquake or something like that, and I wanted to do like adopt a kid, and I was all gung-ho about adopting a child, but then over time, as I started to go down that road, that zest for it faded, which is why the adoption process is so stringent, because they want to make sure that the kids are really going with people that don't lose the zeal of the moment. Some of you might be like, yeah, I remember that, Zane. Are you going to do the same thing with that here? No, because enough time has passed, and it's remarkable how excited I am to do what I'm about to tell you about right now. But let me back up, because I firmly believe that God spoke to me, and this is what I mean by that. When you hear a gnawing voice in your head telling you to do something, and let's say it's something good, and it's like, boy, I got a notion to go do this, and then a lot of people, me included, dismiss that over time. I believe, and I've had other people tell me this too, that's God talking to you. So, all right, that happened. And this is how it went. Over this past weekend, I'm not sure how it happened, but I went into an internet wormhole and thought about a name that I hadn't thought about more than once or twice in the last 32 years. I went to high school with this person, this dude, and this is back 1988. So, 32 years has passed. I've not laid eyes on this person. When I went to high school with this person, we always got along. He was always the sweet, happy-go-lucky, jovial person. I remember this person being very creative and fun. And this person's dad was in the radio industry and TV industry, and he had that creative thing about him, and that's what made him up. Now, high school ends. I don't have any contact with him, as a lot of people do, and I don't know anything about what has happened to him. And then 7 years ago, I stumbled upon him. We shared some. We shared some messages on Messenger, and I found out that he is in the advertising industry, TV ad campaigns, and owned his own advertising agency, super successful at it. His other love, I find out through Facebook, is photography and making films, makes short films. All right, great. That ends. More time passes, 7 years. And I just happened to, this past weekend, stumble on him again. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I wonder what he's doing. I look him up, and I see he's in this video I see on YouTube. He's become even more prominent in his field. And he's being interviewed by somebody who's really like a film enthusiast or a film critic about a short he had made. And I'm watching this video, and he seems like the type of person that I just love to pick the brain of in terms of content making and things like that. And he made a terrific film that I was really intrigued by. And so, in fact, I should probably call up the actual conversation like I did on the Patreon yesterday. So I can detail it to you in exactly the same way that it happened to me. Pardon me. It all unfolded rather quickly, and you just aren't going to believe this. So, seeing that he made a film that I was interested in, a documentary short, I reached out to this dude. And actually, when I was going through the previous history on Messenger, I saw that he had sent a friend request my way some time ago, probably years ago, okay? And I had never responded to it. So the first thing I did actually was I hit accept friend request. And then I left it alone. A little bit more time passes. At 11:09 Saturday morning, I see, hey, man, hope you are great. So we picked up kind of right where we left off. Hello, doing well. I hope you are doing well with all this crazy pandemic. I re-stumbled on you through a typical online wormhole. I really like your work. I watched an interview where you discussing your documentary about certain subject matter. I'm trying to keep this a little bit hush-hush. This person is super private. Where can I see it? It looks fantastic. Hello, so nice to hear from you. The documentary is one of my first film projects from 10 years ago. I've shot hundreds of things since, but I'd love to share it with you, Eric. Dealing with a crazy health issue right now. It's been a tough year, but trying to stay creative. And then he sent the link. So I didn't know what to think about that. Dealing with a health issue, I wasn't really sure if I then just say, oh yeah, well, what is it? Or something like that. But I thought, okay. So he's a little vague on it. And I wrote, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Thanks a bunch. I figured the documentary was old, but definitely worth a look. So I didn't say anything about it. Hope you enjoyed. This is, I like to, he writes, it's raw and beautiful. And this person's like, awesomely dramatic about a lot of things. And I love it. And so he describes it as raw and beautiful. And it is. One day I'll share it with you. I'm not going to share it with you right now. And I wrote, that's right up my alley. I cannot wait. Thanks. Now, if there is anybody who's watching this who I went to high school with, you probably know who this is. If you just keep it on the down low, that'd be great. And knowing that this person is very prominent in the creative industry, I said, well, I might as well send him a little bit of my voice work. So I actually sent him the Pure Michigan. You are an asshole. The video that I made, or that Pellerito made, the parody video. And I know that he would like this because he can't stand the people who are protesting. So I wrote, do you ever need voice talent? I made this parody that you might like. So I sent it along. He wrote, funny, really good voiceover. Thanks, I said. He writes, I'll keep you in mind for sure. Immunity working now because of the virus. That might be a typo. I'm not sure what that means. Also, I'm dealing with this sickness. This is a tough one. I can explain more if you're interested. I hate being wounded. It sucks. So he's not working right now. And I'm like, okay, that's the second time in 1 minute he's discussed this illness. All right, I'll bite. Maybe he wants to talk about it. Maybe I can make him feel better if I say hi. And I noticed that because he said, I can explain more if you are interested. I mean, can you imagine if I said, no, thanks, not interested? And I took the cue and I wrote, I truly am interested. And I am. Do you want me to call you at a decent time? And then he gives me a little more info. He says, I would love to chat. The disease is kidney disease. I have stage 5. Okay, you don't go higher than stage 5. That is end stage. Your kidneys don't work anymore. That means you are on dialysis for 1/2 of the day. You are plugged into a machine that filters your system for 12 hours a day. I wrote, fuck, man, give me a number. What time is best? At this point, nothing's hit me like a bolt from the blue. But again, this all happened. I don't recall how it happened. I don't know how I stumbled upon him. I have no idea why I thought of him. I don't remember. And I've been racking my brain trying to find out what made me think of this person. What happened in the world that made me think of him? What did I encounter that made me think of him? And I don't remember. At this point, I haven't heard anything from God. He's like, yeah, Eric, you're gonna find out on your own, and then I'm gonna let you have it right between the eyes. Some of you, whenever I say this is God talking to me, I know it makes you uncomfortable. But hey, man, I believe this. And you know it. I've always believed this. I've worn that on my sleeve from day one. But I've never been more. The only thing I've been as sure as in my life is marrying my wife. All right. Fuck, man, give me a number. What time is best? He gave me the number, and then he wrote, I have people testing for me for donors. So far, 7 people have not passed. It's heartbreaking. I guess there's a process or something like that. Well, of course there's a process. Call me anytime. I'm home all the time. I'm in containment. I can't leave the house with my beautiful family. I have 2 boys and a lovely wife. I'm blessed. My boys are 13 and 11. Beautiful, sweet boys. They sent a nice picture when they went to like the Grand Canyon or something. I was like, oh, this is great. And I wrote, that's terrific. He's in a different part of the country. He's not in Michigan. I said, I'll give you a call a little later on. At this point is when I'm like, huh. And I didn't say anything to him. The next person I have to speak to, because at this point, God has hit me on the head with a hammer. And I went, what the fuck is that? Who's in my brain? I can hear you. Why am I all warm? Why do I feel good? Why are my eyes welling up with tears? What have you done? Oh, great. You're calling on me. All right. Well, you know what? Let me check with second in command, and I'll get back with you. Diana walks in the room. I go, hey, I got a question for you. She doesn't know that I've been speaking with this person. She goes, uh-huh. I go, so let's say you hear from a person who you've heard from, as of today, twice in the past 32 years. You were chummy. You weren't best friends, but friendly in high school with this person. You haven't laid eyes on the person in 32 years. And you find out that that person needs a kidney. Would you give a kidney to that person? She goes, yes. Without hesitation, she says yes. I said, so would I. We kind of look at each other, and she doesn't know what's going on. No, she has no idea. I go, oh. So I get her caught up, and I go, let's see if we can give a kidney to this guy. He's going to die if we don't give him a kidney. And she goes, well, yeah, of course. What are you waiting for? So I'm, oh, holy fuck. So I can't wait to tell this guy this. I write, what is involved in the process of donating a kidney? What blood type are you? I am O positive. My wife is universal. She's O negative. We'll give you one of ours if we match. Wouldn't that be something? Now, at this point, I know this is going to be, it's going to get to him, and he's going to drop the phone, okay? But I couldn't wait to give him some degree of great news that Diana has just helped me get to and what God has done to me. I'm like, well, I got all these bells clanging off in my head. You're getting a kidney, motherfucker, and that's the end of it. He wrote, oh, man, don't make me cry. This is a very hard ask, and not ask. This is a very hard ask, and I'm touched by this. And then I got all religious on him, and I wrote, God is great, and he made me think of you. He said, I'm crying like a kid. Your heart is beautiful. I'm so touched. God is good, and you're an amazing human. And I'm like, hey, look, I'm just answering the call. Diana is, honestly, if Diana had said, no way, I would know that I would have to convince her Now, I still might have done it, but if Dinah had said no, I would never do that, which is understandable. I get it. I would have had to have convinced her. But the terrific combination of baby Jesus saying, go help him, and my beautiful wife saying, go help him, well, fucking A, man, I'm not listening to anybody else that's going to try to tell me not to help him. This is what's happening. So I credit those two entities. I wrote, I'll call you in a bit and let you wrap your brain around it. He wrote, please do. I am also type O. He can accept, if he is universal, he can accept my kidney or Diana's kidney. If he is O positive, he can accept my kidney. It matches. We got a lot of work to do, though. Don't worry. It's not like tomorrow they're going to go with a melon baller and rip my kidney out or Diana's kidney out and throw it in dude. There's more to the story. I'm so moved. Thank you for caring. I wrote, yeah, my wife is universal. We will run out this ground ball and see where this takes us. I'm not asking any questions. We're diving right in. I know this is big. I understand that this is real heavy. Life has been so hard, and this is a crazy disease, he writes. I cannot fight it alone. It's not like cancer where you go through treatment. It takes another brave human to donate life, being what's known as a living donor. I've learned about this in the past few days. It's a hard one to fight alone. Thank you for even thinking about it. Looking forward to the call. I said, yes, sir. Now we've got something to talk about. Now it isn't catch up with small talk. Let's start building some new memories. Here we go. We shared some nice pictures of our families. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Talked about my grandkids. Talked about working at the radio station together. We worked at my high school radio station together, this sweet, sweet soul. And, all right, where am I? Talking about his job, talking about life. All right. Pretty big news. I would say that, and in fact, I sold this yesterday as, for one person involved, this is bigger than winning $100 million. And I think it is, because I think that this person that I'm talking about would rather have a kidney than $100 million, because that would mean that he's going to live. So I didn't know shit about this. Right away that night, we entered our profile information at the kidney donor website for UCLA Medical Center and Baylor University. Those are the two organizations that this person goes through. And they're very, very finicky about their recipients. Diana and I, expect to hear this week from them continuing this screening process. And it should be noted that after sleeping on this for one day, I didn't sleep Sunday night. I was so excited. Not like, oh boy, what have I gotten myself into excited, but like, let's go, come on, time's a ticking, let's go, let's get these things out of us, or one of us to get a kidney out of here and get it in this guy. I'm excited, let's go. I was like, I didn't even sleep. Diana didn't sleep either. Wake up, sometimes you sleep on it, you wake up and you're like, oh, fuck, what did I say? No. I immediately texted him after a day and a half, and I go, dude, after sleeping on it, we still can't, we couldn't be more sure that this is what we want to do together. And it's swelling even more. So I couldn't contain I wanted to talk about this Monday. I was like, I didn't do it. Nope. Yesterday on the freebie, I didn't do it. Patreon, couldn't contain myself. Had to do it. Now that's behind a paywall. But like a dumb shit, I somehow made it like open to more people than I normally do. It wasn't like it wasn't unlisted or something like that. So a lot more people found out than what I wanted to. So I'm talking to a dude yesterday. I go, hey, you mind if I mention this story? It's a great story. And I said, I'm really excited to share it with people. My audience would love to learn about this. They are, what I've been able to do over the years is be able to, I mean, the one thing that I can always count on is detailing personal shit. That's always been my thing. I've always been really excited about sharing heavy-duty personal shit with people. And he's like, absolutely, yes. Thank God. So, okay, now, I don't know how long this is going to take, and I'm going to keep you informed about this as it unfolds, but this is, the way it is right now is really simple and pure. Tell these medical professionals your history, your life, and keep your fingers crossed that we can get a kidney, one of our 4, which we have more than enough kidney to share, to give to dude. Now, since talking about it on the Patreon, I have received many emails from people. This is the side effect of this story. Talking about it on the Patreon hit some of you between the eyes. And the bolt from the blue that I felt hit more than one of you yesterday. And now I'm hearing from people who are like, you know what? I want to do this too. This person writes, Eric, fair warning, long email. It wasn't that long, by the way. I don't go to church. I have faith, and I know firsthand that God moves. I give blood. I'm on the Be the Match registry. A lot of people are on that. I have the donor designation on my driver's license. I mention this because it's important to understand and remind yourself that it is easy to become complacent in the do-gooder category, this person writes. Am I doing enough, or can I do more? That being said, I've been wanting to do more, especially recently, but I haven't gone so far as to seek out an opportunity. I guess he's kind of like stuck or isn't sure what to do more. This story you shared, this person writes, could not have come at a better time. You know what I mean? It hit him right here, right there. It's like George Foreman, Michael Moore, kablooey. I'm type A, and if I can make a difference here, point me in that direction. If I can pivot here and do a deep dive at the granular level, I think he's being funny because I make fun of people who use that type of language all the time. Yeah, let's pivot and do a deep dive. Punch me in the face. I did. In other words, this is not about me. I don't want the attention and don't give a shit what other people think about me. Now, to be clear, I love telling these stories. I kind of do want the attention because I know how good it does, and I know that you as an audience love being involved in these types of things with me. So I couldn't wait to share it. This person, I think, is pretty private. I am not. Please feel free to use some version of this email on air with anonymity. There you go. I hope you get several messages just like this. I have. I thought about it, and I want to help. Fuck renal failure. Fuck cancer. Signed, Anonymous. Well, I pointed person to the right places about living donor for kidney tissue. In the great state of Michigan, there's over 2,200 people that are sitting there going, fuck, I'm stage 5 renal failure. This is terrible. They're dying. So, now the way it is on what I applied to at Baylor and UCLA, you can do blind. You can just donate your kidney. And they start the process the same way I'm starting the process. Or if you have a recipient in mind, I do, you put that name in there and their date of birth. You have to be. What's weird about I'm finding out about kidney transplant is for some reason the patients have to do more work in like getting their own recipients, which sounds crazy to me. So the person that I am working with, immediate loved ones and family, haven't passed the muster. So, it's my turn. But it is a little strange because for some reason renal failure you have to seek them out. You have to work harder on your own, which I that's I guess part of the system, or it's just a weird thing. But okay. So dude has been riding a few positive days of emotion, and that makes me feel very happy. I'm going to keep you up to date on dude. And so I'm really, really, Diana and I are really, really excited about this. We speak with dude daily. We have been. And I've never been more sure about something in my life, and neither has Diana. I mean, it's like really, really exceptional. So what I'm going to do is this, in the meantime, since you are involved in this with me, like it or not, I am going to always make it a point now to be a champion for this type of thing, living donor, donating a kidney to someone. And I did do a little bit of research against my own brain, saying don't even look at it because it's going to talk you out of it, but it hasn't. Healthy person like me does not need 2 kidneys, okay? And when the docs see that my kidney at age 50 is extremely strong, boy, thank God I quit drinking. Thank God I quit. Thank God I don't smoke, nothing like that. Thank God I try to stay on top of my health as best that I can. With a little luck, they'll look at that kidney tissue of mine and say, this son of a bitch is strong. Hell, we could cut that kidney into tenths and save 10 people. That's what I'm hoping for. But no, I'm pretty sure just take it out of either Diana or myself. We're both very, very healthy, and put it in dude and get his life turned around. So I'm going to link up in the comments of this podcast. I'm going to put it on my website and make it as prominent as I can. More information about being a living donor, so that if you feel like compelled to go down this road, get more information, or dive in the way we are diving in now, you will save people's lives. You will make it so that they can get their life back. And man, this is it. I am so stoked about it. I've been just busting at the seams for the last few days to get into this. So, that's it, man. I want to hear from you, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, because this is going to be a process. I want to hear words of encouragement. If you have something negative to say or you have something terrible, keep it to yourself. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything. I want to hear positive. I want to hear from you. Please reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. With a little luck, this story will catch on of what's happening here, and we'll be able to shine even a bigger spotlight on it. And draw more people in to maybe help some more people. So that's it. That's my story. That's what I wanted to tell you. I don't even know where to go from here, frankly. This is a little weird because yesterday I did the same thing. I got all involved in the story. And then I was like, well, now I got to talk about Trump. So, shit. I am so happy. I have never, this has, and you know what makes me the most happy about it is where it came from, because it was Saturday and I was like, hey, Diana, look at this video. I went to high school with this guy. He's getting interviewed about a film he made, a documentary. Boy, I can't wait to see this. It looks great. And I was really, proud of somebody from my school having such a fantastic life, a very prominent career in his field. He makes movies. I was really, really intrigued by it. And why? I don't know. And then here I am now telling you that I want my kidney out of me. Diana wants a kidney out of her and put into his body so that he won't die. Damn it. Well, okay. But I do got to continue on with the show. The open of the show, probably the most important open I've ever done, is brought to you by Terrytown RV. They are online at terrytownrv.com. Go there, look at it. I just heard from one of the audience members who bought a fifth wheel from the folks at Terrytown RV, and I was like, oh, music to my ears. Thank you for listening. That means the folks at Terrytown are happy. 616-236-2754. They still, of course, are practicing social distancing. They're able to do it. This is how they do it. If you see a nice travel trailer, fifth wheel, motorhome, whatever, Class A, Class C, Sprinter van, folding camper that you like, just call them up. Yeah, hell, they don't care if you like 2 or 3. Say, bring me the travel trailer, bring me the fifth wheel, and bring me the motorhome, park them in front. I'm going to go see them with my family. That's literally what they do now. You go in there, you get your custom tour. You basically kind of go through it yourself, and it's sanitized before you get in there. And then you come out and say, I'll take the travel trailer. You sit down, you do the paperwork, you get it. Put the deposit down, you're done. Thank you, TerrytownRV.com. Tonight I have Growers 101 with, it always sounds weird when I say that. When I say Growers 101, when I say it fast, it sounds like I'm having a stroke. I feel like Ryan Seacrest. Growers 101 on Zoom. If you want to be on that, I can take a late entrant. Just email me, eric@ericzaneshow.com. I'll be on Zoom with John from Horizon Hydroponics. I've got a few of you that will be on the call, the Zoom call, and you can get any questions answered that you want answered. Ask John, the expert. I'll be moderating. If you want products to grow stuff indoors, and I don't care if it's tomatoes or the best, biggest cannabis buds you can possibly grow, call the experts at Horizon Hydroponics. They can still talk to you over the phone and give you any advice while you're making your curbside pickup order, or you can order online. Orders over $250, free shipping anywhere in the United States. Okay, one of my former hometowns is Midland, Michigan. A great little town, growing. You got a gigantic industry there in Dow Chemical that employs a ton of people. Midland is quite an affluent town, actually. There is a lot of very, very wealthy people that live in this community. Terrific college called Northwood University, and my son was born when I lived in Midland, Michigan, and Jacqueline, my daughter, was born while living in Midland, Michigan. We settled in there. That was when I would wake up in the morning. At the first home I purchased was right in Midland, and then I would drive to the mobile home of rock and roll, and the Joe and the Poor Boy show was on the air. And now Midland is underwater in about 30 hours time. What the hell happened? 9 feet of water. The community of Midland is under 9 feet of water. Just north of Midland, there is Wixom Lake and Sanford Lake. They're pretty big. Well, there's dams on each of those lakes. What was the Tittabawassee River, I know, funny name, 100 years ago, they dammed up the river. You've heard about that a billion times. Energy and that's basically what keeps things going for electricity to a lot of those communities. They dam up the river. Well, that made the 2 lakes, Wixom and Sanford. Now, when I say big, I mean in Michigan, considering we're surrounded by freshwater oceans, you hear about these sizes of water, and you're like, that's not that big. But to the rest of the world, these are huge. Let's see. The smaller of the 2 is, I believe, I'm not sure because Wixom Lake is deeper. It's as deep as 40 feet deep. Sanford Lake isn't as deep, but the surface area of Wixom Lake is a 2,000-acre lake and 40 feet deep. That sounds pretty big. Sanford Lake is 1,500 acres of surface, 6 miles long, and a half-mile wide at the widest. And for Sanford Lake, there is 34.5 miles of shoreline. That's pretty big. Well, every bit of water that's in those lakes has busted free because of the dams. The lakes are no more. They're gone. So there's like fish flopping around. All the boats are grounded. The dam's gone. So it's back like to 100 years ago when it was just the Tittabawassee River. Problem, though, you can't take all of that water and just flush it down and expect. So this river now, the flood stage is like 20 feet. It's going to be at its massive height. It's going to, at its highest point, it's going to be like 40 feet. Holy shit. The Today Show started their news today with this story of the fucking busted dams and every inch of, or every bit of water going through the dams. National news. Old hometown. Everything's ruined. So now this town, which is right on the banks of this river and this massive chemical plant, are dealing with this shit. It is bad. I've seen the joke. I thought about it myself. The governor immediately said, everybody evacuate. So the first joke was, yeah, I wonder if the freedom fighters and that group of fucking asshole patriots is going to protest her telling those people to leave their homes now. Stupid asses. But she's like, get out. And there's like all the emergency vehicles as the water is rushing from like 9 miles up down to the city, goes driving through saying, everybody get to higher ground. I mean, it's serious shit. And so that is absolute catastrophe in my former hometown of Midland, Michigan. Very, very big story. My God. Horrible. All right, a lot more to get to on the show. In fact, I have Dear Meathead coming up in just a matter of minutes. Looking forward to that. I want to hear from you. Eric at ericzaneshow.com if you have a question for Dad. In fact, I got to see, because sometimes I look and there's like nothing in terms of questions, and I have to like re-remind you. Let's see. I got, Dean is here. I've got Melinda with a question. And I see Justin has a question as well. Send your emails, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, and we will get to that. All right. Is there anything worse than a drunk person, having to put up with a drunk person? I just had a talk with a friend the other day, and we somehow got on the subject of when people are drunk and you're not drunk. How annoying that is. I don't think there's anything worse when you're sitting there and the person is acting like an asshole and you're just sitting there not drunk, and you feel like it's that you're on another planet. That's the impression I got in this upcoming story that I have audio from. I don't know. Some town in Pennsylvania, every year they get together and have a Jeep weekend. I think, is it Pennsylvania? Or maybe it's Texas. I don't know where the hell it is. Anyway, they get together and have like a big, I think it's Texas now that I think about it, have a big Jeep weekend, and they say tops off weekend. And so get it, you put your tops off of the Jeep, and then all these Jeep enthusiasts show up there. Now, I've never really been one to, you got like Corvette clubs, you got like diesel truck clubs. Everybody's got a club for their vehicle. I couldn't give any shit. I don't give any shits about any vehicle club. And it's just not a thing. To me, a vehicle is just to get from point A to point B. But these people have a big part. You hear it's a Jeep thing you wouldn't understand. It's a Harley thing you wouldn't understand. Jeep people have a special wave. It's the Wrangler wave. They do a special thing. Fuck, man, I don't know. When I would drive that scooter, or ride that scooter, I should say. Man, first of all, the other guys on the motorcycles would never give me the two down. That's another thing the motorcycle idiots do, is when a guy on a motorcycle sees another guy on a motorcycle, you're supposed to flash a sign to them. And you take two fingers like peace, and you point down, and that's supposed to mean keep the two wheels on the ground, man. It's like, yeah, it's a solidarity. It's like, yeah, no shit, two wheels on the ground. I get it. But I don't need to see your stupid sign. Why do we have to have solidarity around vehicles that we ride? The motorcycle guys might be the worst. And then there's an entire hierarchy, because Harley guy, he might not give to the big peace sign pointed to the ground to the rice rocket guy or whatever, or the import guy. And the Indian guy, he might not give to the Harley guy. And God knows you're definitely not going to give it to the idiot on the scooter. But other scooter idiots would give it to me. And you know what I would do to all of them? Ignore them. Yeah, I don't want your dumb sign. It's just a mode of transportation. Nobody gives a shit. The biggest thing was when Harley guy who's wearing his Harley costume like Tom from Gun Lake, looking like a fucking buffoon, riding down the road, who he gives me the time of day and gives me a stupid sign, and I diss him. How you like that, you fucking costume moron? Yeah, the guy on the scooter did not give it back to you. Aha! That happened maybe once or twice. I loved riding that scooter because on the back of the scooter I had a sticker that said "Loud pipes save lives," which couldn't be more of a fuck you to the dummy who has a stupid bike with the pipes that are too loud and tries to tell the world, oh, yeah, that's a safety feature. It is not a safety feature, you dipshit. You like the vroom vroom and the feel of it on your taint. Shut up. Well, anyway, I completely digressed. Folks in this community get together for Jeep Weekend. And these stupid dummies, listen to this group. The cops are like, oh, fuck, man, it's social distance. We're supposed to do social distancing, but we can't enforce it. Yes, you can. You can go and beat the shit out of these people. Listen to these assholes, especially the one chick. You'll know it when you hear it.
After several weeks of being stuck inside.
By the way, what you're hearing right there, that's a puker. When you hear someone say, after several weeks of being stuck inside, that's puking. His real voice is after several weeks of being stuck inside. When you hear someone go, after several weeks of being stuck inside, you're puking.
After several weeks of being stuck inside.
After several weeks of being stuck inside.
After several weeks of being stuck inside, thousands have flocked here to Bolivar Peninsula to make the most of their time while out.
Been in quarantine, and I need to get out and party. Woo!
Go Topless Jeep Weekend.
What's better than beach and a few drinks and Jeeps? Man, it can't get better than that.
In full swing at beaches on Bolivar Peninsula. This event comes at a time where beaches across the state are reopening following the coronavirus.
I don't know what I can handle. I can't handle the loudmouth fat bitch. I can't handle the buker and all these stupid fat women.
Pandemic. And beachgoers like Chelsea Collier are still taking precautions to stay safe.
Wash them hands for 20 seconds and keep them clean with the Germ-X. Totally.
Oh, my God. Holy shit.
After several weeks of being stuck in...
And keep them clean with the Germ-X. Totally.
At last year's Go Topless event, chaos erupted. About 80 people were arrested. 6 people were taken to the hospital. But this go-round, the Galveston County Sheriff's Office has enlisted the help of 40 DPS troopers.
Come down, have a good time. You have a good time, there's no issues. But when you start acting silly, like the sheriff said on the previous interview, we've got a jail that's got a whole lot of empty holes.
Well, then arrest that one fat bitch.
Have made at least 63 arrests so far in connection to Jeep Weekend. As for the enforcement of social...
the word weekend from this guy has like 6 syllables in it. He said weekend. He sounds like Beth Mowins.
Distancing, they say it's challenging to enforce.
I mean, you can't. It's not possible to do that on this beach with the amount of people that we have here. It's just... we can't do that.
The additional presence of law enforcement has been a welcoming sight for beachgoers.
Are you about to puke?
Given the history of this event.
Law enforcement's definitely made their visitability and made people chill out and not be as crazy. The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent.
Look, here's the
deal. As long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent, you say.
Then I'm all gravy, baby.
And if you missed out on today's festivities, you can come out tomorrow, like the Galveston County Sheriff Office says, act responsible while having fun. Reporting here from Bolivar Peninsula, Jordan James, 12 News.
I'm serious. That is one of the biggest pukers I've ever heard in my entire life. Now, as time passes, he won't puke as much as he gets better. But I'll never get over I mean, what you have to do is you actually have to corner the guy and say, look, you're not allowed on TV until you stop talking like that. Seriously. Jesus.
After several weeks of being stuck inside,
the worst. What the hell? So anyway, yeah, they're going at it. They're having a good time. This show is also on Patreon. It's where I spilled the beans yesterday about the kidney thing. I had 2 people sign up yesterday. Thank you to you 2. I always forget to write the names down. Teresa? Mr. Yuck? Is that what I'm supposed to say? Thanks on Patreon. That is a separate podcast each and every day, commercial free. I do it at patreon.com/Eric Zane. Kent County Health Department wants to remind you to cough in the elbow. Wear a mask unless you're an asshole. Keep socially distant from each other except for your family. All right, be careful, and we'll be able to finish this pandemic off. This thing is going to stay around, but the state is opening up slowly, and it will stay around once we're open. The key is to keep it from spiking while we then put a vaccine in place, which some of you won't take because you're all so stupid. But for the rest of us who are going to keep it in check, I hope they make it mandatory. I hope they say that you have to get it, and if you don't, you're like kicked out of the country or drowned or something, because that would eliminate the freedom fighters and the patriots, and we don't need those dipshits screwing up the gene pool. Anyway, I digress. 616-632-7200 for the Kent County Health Department. That number is to get more information on the WIC program. You pay into it your whole life. It's a federally funded program, and it's got billions of dollars in it. So, why don't you reach out to them? You're going to qualify if you're hard up for cash. They're going to give you a card every month. It's going to be full of money. You get your food. 616-632-7200. Baldwin Ace Hardware. I sound like I'm drunk. Up north, the king of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. If you're going up north to your getaway place, and some of you are for the Memorial Day holiday, make sure you drop into Baldwin Ace Hardware for whatever you need. Can of paint, paintbrush, maybe a piece of metal, a pole, a grill, whatever it is. Fishing tackle at Baldwin Ace Hardware. And last for this spot segment, Green Clean Technologies. Supposed to talk to Will. I want to get the lowdown on what the hell goes on at Green Clean Technologies. That's like a janitorial service for high tech. Does your business have like a nerve center, a high-tech data center with servers everywhere and some panicked guy trying to make sure that it all keeps running? Because if anything goes south, the hard drive's going to fry. That's when you need to call on Green Clean Technologies. They make sure that stuff is in tip-top shape, clean, so that there's no dust or any static or ions or particles or whatever it is that he does to make sure that is removed from the equipment at a microscopic level so that those hard drives don't crash. Call Will at Green Clean Technologies to get more information and get a quote for your data center, your bank, your hospital, whatever it may be. You got a lot of servers, you need Green Clean Technologies, 989-560-7272. Thank you to Will. Now, I have not unveiled this information to my dad about the kidneys. I don't want to. Plans to yet because he wouldn't understand. I don't want to go down that road yet. I don't know if I ever will. He might find out on his own because obviously I've made this public. But now's not the time. Well, let's get him on here for another round of Dear Meathead. Your questions at eric@ericzaneshow.com. Submarine is launched. There he is.
Hello.
Papa, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Never better, Dad. You sound great.
Well, so do you, but don't lie to me.
Yeah, do you think I'm not doing okay?
No, I think you're doing okay.
Yeah, man, it's great. It's really, really great. I'm really, really happy right now.
Yeah, you're making yourself happy.
Well,
That's a good thing.
I've got a lot of support.
Well, you also think intelligently. That's all.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, you do, because I was just talking to Joanne, and it's people that don't believe in this. My neighbor next door don't believe in any precaution.
Oh, you're talking about the pandemic, huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't understand people. I really struggle with that. I get angry when people say the things that they say.
Well, yeah, there's no sense of getting angry. That's their feeling, and well, you just keep away from them. That's all there is to it. Now, here's a little situation. Joanne is a really kind woman. She bought a bunch of dinner for one of our in-laws there, Jim Marquis' mother.
Uh-huh.
And we delivered it personally, and she put it by their door.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's great.
And then walked away. And then, meanwhile, my stepdaughter or daughter,
yeah,
is out there doing something, and then they start having a conversation, but they keep keeping a distance.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And it was quite awkward that they couldn't get together.
I know. Isn't that weird how we have to be apart for a little while?
Yeah, and then we were in one driveway, and they were in their own driveway there, but we can see each other.
Yeah.
She's waving at me. She can't see me in a car because I didn't leave the car. And I'm waving back, and she was telling Joanne, why didn't Rob wave back?
No.
Well, she couldn't see me because of darkness in the car.
Okay.
And that really felt bad because, I love him, and I, be with him, want to be with him, and I couldn't be there. That really irritates me, that you want to hug the people that you love, and you can't.
Yep.
But then again, I think people should understand each other. That they can't be doing that.
No, it's true, Dad. I think at the end of the day, I'm just greatly concerned that I am infected and that I would infect some people who wouldn't be able to fight it off. I wouldn't be able to live with.
Sure.
I think it is at the end of the day, after all of the arguing, after all of the bickering, what I'm most concerned about is I'm not so much worried about whether or not I would survive. I know I'd survive. But if I infect the 99-year-old World War II veteran and I don't even know it, and then he croaks because of me, I mean, that's terrible. And you get a lot of people that are like, I guess we just got to let the chips fall. Well, no, we don't have to let the chips fall.
Yeah, good thinking. That's right. Yeah. You got to be concerned about the rest of the world.
And it's remarkable how all it took was a few weeks, and everybody threw their hands in the air. And what was started out as, hey, let's all get together and try to protect the vulnerable has turned.
To me, that appalls me that people think so stupidly.
Has turned into this sickening war. And now you get a great vast number of people who don't even believe that this is a thing. And they stand out because they're so stupid that everybody wants to hear their ridiculous things because they can't believe someone could actually be that dumb.
Yeah. Now look at the beaches in California. People are just out there, and like nothing is going on.
I'm with you, man. You're preaching to the choir. Screw that. Now, to be fair, we have been given the green light to go up north, but when I go up there, I park the damn trailer or the camper, and I just sit there by the fire. It isn't like I'm going out and hanging. I don't want to be around anybody.
No, we're not going to be there this year.
Yep. I know that. I'm going to miss you guys, but there's always Labor Day when we can get together for that. So that's what
I don't know how this is going to be going, but nothing is lightening up right now.
Well, it will.
Yeah, it has. It has. I think that it's Michigan is especially strong because for the most part people have done what they should do. So Michigan was like really, really badly infected, and they have dropped like a stone. And a lot of that has to do with time. But at the same time, I'm happy. I'm happier than what I was for sure.
I really cannot believe that out of nowhere, thousands of people died in Michigan.
Yep.
I mean, it's just like they dropped.
I know it. It's from something that didn't exist like 4 months ago, 5 months ago.
I mean, how dreadful is this disease, you know, and we have no cure or nothing.
It's coming.
And the only cure we have is to keep away from each other.
It's coming. And good days are going to happen. I believe it. I believe it.
Well, I appreciate your optimism. And I say one thing. I say God is looking after us.
I agree, Dad, in many, many ways. So
Yes.
Okay, I've got a series of questions. Most of them are random. I would like to share them with you if it's okay, Dad. Oh, and by the way,
right.
I gotta say this before we get officially underway. This segment has a sponsor, as you know, and I have a bunch of stuff to give you from JM Synthetics, Dad. And JM Synthetics, they distribute AMSOIL products. And
awesome.
Yeah, so it's like the best in the business. And so I've got the owner of JM Synthetics, Jason Zaniak. Jason, he gave me a bunch of stuff to give to you. So I'm going to, as soon as I can, I'm going to either drop it off or just give it to you when we can. But if people want to go and get the products, it's at jmsynthetics.com. And you can be a preferred member, a preferred customer for $20, which gets you tons of access to all of their products that regular people can't get. And if you buy $100 or more from Jason, he's going to give you that $20 back. So there you go. I just figured I'd throw that in.
Bless his heart. And what is the product anyway? Everything?
Yeah, well, what it is AMSOIL. They,
okay.
In addition to making synthetic motor oil,
Sure.
they have.
Sure. Oh, I can use the motor oil and all that.
Yeah. Well, you know, what you're looking at there is a vast line of products like filters, gear lube, transmission fluid.
And Home Depot carries their products.
I'm not sure if that's true or not. I think that it's a very specialized thing that you have to get via like Jason, who is the distributor of them. So I think that's the only way to get this stuff. So I encourage the audience to go and get it from him at jmsynthetics.com. So he is
great news.
He's your sponsor. He's like your biggest fan, and I just had to make sure that we said that this time. So.
Well, thank you, Jason.
He's a great man, and I'm sure he would love to meet you.
Yes, likewise.
Right, here we go. The questions. Justin writes this. Meathead, besides the island, what is your best invention that you have created in your mind?
Is this the island that I kept talking about?
Oh, yeah. He says, he knows the island is the greatest thing you've ever come up with. But what is the best, the second best thing you've ever created in your brain or idea or concept? What do you think?
Well, the thing that comes to my mind, I don't want to openly acknowledge that and open lines for everybody to hear it. That's not going to happen. But I will tell you something. Let me tell you something. I came from a part of the world to this country, which is a wonderful place to be. I have never lived in any place that is as great as America. I'll explain something they do to the criminals in that country. When they are the people that are really deserving people, they are hung by their neck in the city circle for 3 days, dead.
So you mean to tell me you would like walk outside and there's dead people hanging from the thing?
No, not dead people, just the criminals that were.
But they're definitely.
No, they die when they get hung.
Oh, okay.
They're dying by hanging.
Yes.
I mean, they're being punished by hanging.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Occasionally, you will see 2 to 3 bodies hanging.
Okay.
And they'll be there for 3 days.
Okay. So, and you're saying that
I would go and watch this. Not the hanging, but the dead bodies.
Wow. Now, so you're saying that's a great idea?
That's their idea. I don't know if it's a no. That's an inhuman type of a thing. But I don't believe a criminal that, for instance, was a murderer has a right to live 40 years, 50 years in a prison area, get fed, clothed, medically taken care of, and then die naturally or whatever. You are catering to a criminal.
And that's really, I know that that's a real hot button issue with you, Dad. There's no question.
A criminal is a criminal. He killed somebody. He has no right to live.
So let me,
That's my feeling.
Let me,
of course, it's not a Christian way of feeling. God says forgive. But that's not up to me to forgive a murderer.
Okay. Now, I'm just taking notes here. I want to make sure I got this right. Hanging is an inhuman type of thing.
Yes, it
is. Okay.
Anytime you kill somebody is an inhuman thing, whether you're a criminal or not. The criminal's got the right to live too, but my God, if the criminal took a life, what right does he have to live?
Oh. Okay, yeah, I think a lot of people who are hearing or seeing the video, Dad, would say that they agree with this, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the island,
Absolutely, yes. Now listen, everyone's carrying a gun.
Yeah.
What right do they have to shoot somebody to kill?
Well, I don't think they have a right to just pull it out and shoot people. I think.
Well, they do for any reason. You can't look at a guy crooked now. They just kill you.
Okay.
Hey, a guy cut me off one day. This is a long time ago that I was a very aggressive young man. And I did my gestures.
Yep.
And he actually, I think, shot me.
Okay, so you're saying
he's the guy that almost caused me to get killed driving the car.
So you said you did your gestures.
I did it after what he did.
Okay, gotcha. So that was like, maybe the middle finger and sticking your...
I retaliated.
What
right does he have to do it and not expect a retaliation?
I've actually seen you do that. I remember back in the day when you were...
betcha.
Holy, you were a hothead, Dad. There's no question.
No, I was hothead just not to be a hothead. I was hothead when I was violated.
Okay, I'm writing that down. I was a hothead when I was violated.
Right. I don't go out there pick fight. My neighbors, everyone here loves me. I have about 25 neighbors. They go out of their way to wave to me.
Oh, yeah. I believe it. Even
the dogs wave it.
And the dogs. Oh, my God. They love me.
Okay. Dad, I have this one for you. If you were in charge of picking the 8th wonder of the world, what would you choose besides Joanne, of course, writes Justin. What is the new, or what is your 8th wonder of the world, Dad?
I would choose to own the largest sanctuary of dogs.
That's awesome. I love it.
I'm telling you. I love that animal because it's the most wonderful animal in the world. You show them a little love and kindness.
Yeah.
They are your friends for love.
Well,
for life.
I think that already exists. You go down Cass Corridor in downtown Detroit. It's like that now.
Well, I don't go there anyway, but my experience is, for instance, with a distance to be reckoned with, we were not visiting, but we were at Liz's house, my stepdaughter, my daughter, actually.
Yeah.
Visiting, and they have 2 dogs.
Okay.
They both love me to death. However, the little one, I'm sitting on a bench across their porch.
Right.
It jumped on that bench and on the porch.
Yeah.
And it kept nudging itself. It's touching my body, leaning on my body.
Yeah.
I did not initiate that or nothing. It just did it by itself.
Just loves you. You fall in love right there with the dog.
I was already in love with the dog, but the dog was returning the love that I showed her weeks ago.
Isn't that fantastic? That's why I don't think I'll ever not have a dog. I've had a dog all my life, and I'm so grateful that my mom and dad got me dogs because That's why I got 4 dogs.
I'm great. No, that's really good news. We don't have dogs because we put away too many dogs.
Oh yeah, I hate that. But and
I'm gun shy with that.
I've got a real point of pride about that. Whenever I know the dog has to go to the Rainbow Bridge, there was one time I knew in my heart that the dog had to go to the Rainbow Bridge and be put to sleep, and I went to the vet, and the vet said, "I think the dog's okay. I think the dog's good. It's just fine." And the vet was wrong. And I went home, and then the next day I show up, and the dog had died. And I will never, ever, ever not listen to my gut again, and then because I didn't,
wow.
And she died. It wasn't pleasant. It was a bad deal. Putting a dog down is the most loving thing you can do. It's incredible,
yeah.
and I'm always there. I always stay right there, the whole time while the dog passes.
Sure.
I got to hold the dog.
I remember a story that involves you and I.
Oh, I do too.
Didn't you and I my memory's a little cloudy, but did a dog to a vet to be en route to be euthanized?
Yeah, it was Queenie.
Queenie, and you turned around and said, "Dad, I don't want to go with you in there."
Yeah, I was young.
You turned around and went back in the car.
Yep, I remember. I sat there, and then you were there. You actually were part of that. That's incredible.
Yes, and then I went there, and I put my head on the dog and just cried.
So bad. But it's beautiful. It's and then the dogs, they don't feel a thing. They just go to sleep, and then this is gonna make me cry all over again.
I know. Okay. I know I do because I know how I feel right now.
All right, listen up. I got another one here. Lovely Melinda writes this. My 16-year-old, or 16, almost 17, he takes showers, and that's something I don't mess around with. What she means by that is, hey, you got to go take a shower. She doesn't have to do that because he's old enough. So she wrote, well, his bathroom got flooded, so he has to shower in another bathroom. And she wrote, and I know he hasn't showered since Saturday. And it's, Wednesday right now. Should I step in or just leave him be? I feel like he might be too old for me to tell him to take a shower. Meathead, I need your help.
Boy, that's a problem. I mean, we got to take a shower at least every other day or every 2 days, something like that. Something is the matter with you know what his problem is?
What is it?
I think he's lazy. I really do.
Okay.
You got to make a rule. If you don't take a shower the second day of the week, you don't eat breakfast or lunch or dinner or something. Punish him.
Withhold food. Yeah, I would,
do something. Take away his telephone.
Do something. You got to do something. Yeah, I agree.
You got to do that because the body has to be clean. The body needs pores to breathe.
Yeah, she's that's unfortunate, and he probably eventually would get it on his own. But I agree. I think something should be said. You gotta impress upon the kid how important it is because he's gonna smell like butthole before you know it. And
first of all, you got to sit down and talk with them. Hey, what is it you don't like about shower?
Right. Yeah.
Or not shower, bathing.
Yeah. Okay.
What is it you don't like about it? We want to know that. Or else we're going to get a doctor or a psychiatrist to check you out. Threaten them with some damn thing.
Yes. You got to impress upon them the importance of that sort of thing. So I was taking notes here, Dad, and I made sure to list that according to you, take a shower every other day or every second day.
Yeah. You got to take time for your cleanliness.
Yes, I agree. Absolutely.
And I really feel bad for that mother that is trying to tolerate that crap.
All right.
I mean, crap.
Dad, I got one more question. And the people that have been wanting me to ask it have been trying to get me to ask you this for months. And I've been reluctant to ask it. So I
wonder why.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really uncomfortable for me. But these people have been peer pressuring me to ask you this. So the question from Kenny is this. How old is too old to have sex?
It's never too old to have sex. Never. As long as you're willing and capable, because there's a point that you are not capable anymore. You just stop. You just can't do it.
Oh,
but do it as long as you have an enjoyment in there.
Oh, God.
And you feel good about doing it. Of course, it takes two to realize the same thing. Do it.
So, Dad.
Oh, why would you want to stop?
I'm not sure. I don't know where that came from. I was just reading it. I had nothing to do with it. Just to be, and I was taking notes, Dad. You said as long as you're having enjoyment in there.
As long as you're having enjoyment having sex. Now, the in there is your own interpretation. Enjoying sex.
Yeah.
Is the word.
I got it. Oh, my God. Well, sorry.
I mean, you gotta, hey, sex, you're looking forward to it. It's not an everyday or 24 hours a day type of a thing.
No.
But whenever it occurs, it's a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is. God-given. We're so blessed.
That's right. Just make sure you don't have babies.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine? One. All right. Well,
or else you'll have a library of kids.
Yes, you sure would. Well, all right, Dad. I really appreciate it again. You guys have you never let us down. Everybody loves you, and just so happy that we can have this conversation once again.
All right, but I have a comment to make right now.
Please.
That recent live show that you had that I met.
Yes.
Zoom.
That was the that was called Meatheads Virtual Meetup, which was a great deal of fun with all those Patreon members. Yes.
I want to make a comment for all the people that I met, that I talked with on the Zoom. They're awesome people. I mean, just looking and talking to them, it was an enjoyment.
Oh yeah, they are a great bunch. They have they really love you guys, and I couldn't have been happier with all of that.
And if all of your audiences, I'm proud to be part of them.
Aww.
But if all of your audience is like that, these are great people. My God.
I'm telling you.
I didn't know there's so many wonderful people around.
Oh, yeah, they're serious. They love you, Dad. A lot of these folks are like, hell, that's the best part of the show when Eric gets his dad on and his stepmother on.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. No, I'm really delighted to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
And I am honored to hear that.
Well, it's been years.
Honored to know them.
We've been, considering when prior to this, I've been doing this for almost a year and a half. And prior to that, it was years on the radio. And this has been a long time that we've been doing this.
Wow. And you know, you got a lot of talented people there.
I'm sorry?
Musical.
Oh, yeah. I got John had his, he has his, he plays his guitar. He can play the drums.
Sure.
He's terrifically talented.
Sure.
Oh,
you
yeah.
got a good group.
I know it.
And I enjoy your show.
Thank you. I enjoy you and your contribution, you and Joanne's contribution to it. It's always special.
All right. Thanks for your call, and God bless you, and stay out of the road.
Okay, Dad.
Stay in your house.
I'll stay out of the road. Okay, I love you. Okay. All right.
Bye now.
Talk to you. Bye-bye. There you go. The one and only my dad, Dear Meathead, brought to you again by JM Synthetics. Online at jmsynthetics.com for all of your AMSOIL products. Call Jason at 616-747-0233. It's just when I thought that this segment cannot get better, it has not let me down again, and it was absolutely spectacular. Now, again, this was not my doing. That question was a terrific way to end it. You all that have been urging me to say that question, you are correct. The only thing that was keeping me from asking that question was the awkwardness that I felt. But I do know that hilarity that you got out of it outweighs my awkwardness, and my awkwardness, though I felt awkward, contributed to the hilarity. I know how this works, you bastards. So I say, well done. Good job convincing me to ask that question. Let's see. I had Kenny for sure saying, come on, you got to ask this question. And there was another individual, multi-talented Melinda, who all caps wrote, please ask Kenny's question. There you go. I did it. It's done. And I'm very happy with what happened. But damn, that was tough. Oh, God. Some real highlight moments there. Whew. Part of me just wants to end the podcast now, but there's plenty more to talk about. And I got more people to promote. I've got a T-shirt. I've got T-shirts for sale, of course, at ericzaneshow.com. You can get a T-shirt with my dad on the T-shirt. Okay? It's the Deer Meathead T-shirt, and there's tons of other different styles. I know you've seen all of them, and I need new styles. I'm planning on doing that. I've just been so damn busy. I'm going to redo the clothing line eventually. All at ericzaneshow.com. As I mentioned, JM Synthetics, they sponsor Deer Meathead, and they also they increased their sponsorship of the show. Before they started out on a like kind of like a beginner's program, and they've really stepped up, and now they've become a what's known as the Tier 2. If you're Tier 2, you're getting into some heavy-duty promotion. And I tell you what, I am just so excited about the support from JM Synthetics as I am in the process of getting rid of a car that would require a ton of their products, the oil in particular. But still, I got to sign up to be a preferred customer for just $20, and then I get access to all of their great products, okay? And that's the stuff that's where I'm going to get it, at JM Synthetics. And if I buy more than $100 of like antifreeze, steering brake and suspension fluid, degreasers, bar and chain oil, Jason's going to give me my $20 back on being a preferred customer, okay? It's like Costco for you gearheads. If you'd like to do it yourself, maybe you need some hydraulic oil or compressor oil, do call upon the #1 AMSOIL distributor in the world, Jason Zaniak, Jason at jmsynthetics.com. Thank you, Jason, for believing in my show and helping me build my show so I can help you build yours. Got to take a rifle over to BK Guns and Stuff. They're also in Saranac along with Jason, part of the team of Saranac Shit Kickers. 616-902-2447. He can repair any bit of weaponry. The team at BK Guns and Stuff want to make sure that you are all set. All right, Benjamin and Kyle will do it for you. 616-902-2447. You need a modification done. You need, the stock is cracked. He can fix it. You're going to upgrade. You need new sights on the thing. You're totally doing it customized. You can do it. Or you just want to buy a home defense shotgun. BK Guns and Stuff. And finally, this time around, Van Dyke Mortgage, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team. Thank you. 231-332-6505. There's lots of Van Dyke mortgages in and around West Michigan, okay? But the one you want to go to is not the one in whatever part of town. You want to go into the one at the Lakeshore, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Trust me, there's a difference. If you see Van Dyke Mortgage, say, which one? And they say, Joe Blow. I say, I love you, but Mario's my guy. Even if you're not in Michigan, call upon Mario to get his services. At least talk to him. And then you decide, okay? It's one thing to hear it from me, but I want his voice to go into your head, and you decide. And go ahead, talk to any other mortgage dude from any other place, and then go with your gut, okay? And I'm entirely confident that you will have a great experience. And if you don't, call me so I can call his ass and say, what the fuck? 231-332-6505. That's right, Eric Zane Show Podcast. He'll scream at his sponsors if they don't do it right. 231-332-6505. It's not going to be a problem. It's going to be great. All right. One of my new favorite things is listening to Trump shut down reporters. He's hilarious. Okay, I don't care about the politics of this. Okay? This has nothing to do with the politics. It's just hysterical. Like I posted a picture of Pelosi yesterday. By the way, thanks to whoever pointed out, I think it was Odam or Autumn or whatever. I don't even know how to say his name. Sometimes known as Mr. Yuck. Mr. Yuck is my first Patreon member who actually found out about this show, the free one and the Patreon, from me doing work on the air at Q100 up north. The first one. Like 43 weeks of shows. This is my first direct contributor to the Patreon from that. So I'm happy. Welcome. I was saying yesterday on the free podcast, I go, who does Nancy Pelosi remind me of? And I'm like, and I actually said, if you go back and listen, she reminds me of a robot or something. And I remember thinking Rosie from the Jetsons. And then I went, no, she was real clunky and blocky, that character. So that can't be it. And I couldn't picture it. But I knew, I kept in my head a robot. And I'd seen the face before. Because in particular, it was Pelosi's face when she was on with Anderson Cooper calling the president obese the other day. And I went, what the fuck am I seeing? And this dude on the Facebook comments wrote, she looks like the character that Joan Rivers voiced in Spaceballs, Dot Matrix, that C-3PO type of droid from Spaceballs with the gold wig and was a chick with the giant eyebrows. That's who Pelosi. And I did a separated at birth photo on online on my Twitter and Facebook. I was like, holy shit, this is not a political post, but look at this shit. Look how close this character, this person look like to it. It's like separated at birth. It's unbelievable. Not political, but incredible. Trump shutting down reporters is not political. It's just hilarious. So Big Mouth Reporter is coming on strong. She thinks that because 30-some million Americans are out of work because of the pandemic, that Trump should magically come up with a plan about getting them back to work. Now, that's fucking dumb. If anybody thinks that any one person who is in a state of leadership can just go, I order thee to work. I have created work plans. Frankly, it's going to work out. These people who, well, first of all, a lot of businesses are opening up, and when they do open up, the workers will come back to work, but not all of them. I know that. In fact, I would say it wouldn't surprise me if a large enough that it looks terrible percentage of people won't have a job available because the company dissolved or went under or whatever. But as we're trying to get through a pandemic, to me, it's not on the president right now to say, this is what we're going to do to get the jobs back. It's going to fix itself in a lot of cases, and the resilient American people will find work. And frankly, if you're not a finger pointer who wastes his or her fucking time going to the Capitol, wasting day after day, pointing fingers like an asshole, you're probably going to be able to find work because you're resilient. No moss grows under your feet. You're not going to let any scenario hold you down because you can adapt. Now, not everybody can do that, but a lot of you can. So this bitch is asking Trump about that. She comes in strong and starts like giving him the business. And her tone is bad, very passive aggressive. And she's attacking in her style, as she probably should. But he's not going to let her get away with that, and it's hilarious. Listen to Trump shut this lady down yesterday when he's doing his thing. I love it when he does this.
Mr. President, why haven't you announced a plan to get 36 million unemployed Americans back to work? You're overseeing historic economic despair. What's the delay? Where's the plan?
I think we've announced a plan. We're opening up our country. Just a rude person you are. We're opening up our country. We're opening it up very fast. The plan is that each state is opening, and it's opening up very effectively. And when you see the numbers, I think Even you will be impressed, which is pretty hard to impress you. Yeah, go ahead, please.
A lot of these jobs are not coming back.
All right, couple things. First of all, when he works this part in,
Just a rude person you are.
he just kind of squeezes it into the early stages of the answer. So that's excellent. And then I don't have no. And then he kind of just restates what he said several times. Well, you know, the country is reopening, so and even you will be impressed with that.
Mr. President, why haven't you announced a plan to get 36 million unemployed Americans back to work? You're overseeing historic
What a bitch question that is, by the way.
economic despair. What's the delay? Where's the plan?
I think we've announced a plan. We're opening up our country. Just a rude person you are. We're opening up our country. We're opening it up very fast. The plan is that each state is opening, and it's opening up very effectively. And when you see the numbers, I think even you will be impressed, which is pretty hard to impress you. Yeah, go ahead, please.
A lot of these jobs are not coming back.
Okay, and then he goes on to the next person. Yeah, go ahead, please. And then that chick says, a lot of these jobs start, and then he actually waved his finger at her. He goes, that's enough. That's enough. I tell you, I'd done the same thing, except I'd have called her a bitch. I would be the worst president ever. I would make him look like Barack Obama. Because if she said that to me, I would just say, yeah, you know what? You're a fat bitch. You are a fat bitch, okay? Fuck off. Next. That's how that would have gone. All right, never thought I'd talk about politics in the state of Idaho on this podcast, but boy, is this insane. Zaniac Randall sent this along. Oh, my God. You got the governor of Idaho and the lieutenant governor, the lieutenant governor hate each other over the pandemic. Now in Idaho, everybody's a Republican. The Senate's run by Republicans. The House is run by Republicans. The governor is a Republican. The lieutenant governor is a Republican, of course. But they've got a nuance where, and I didn't know this, like in Michigan, when Whitmer ran, she announced that Gilchrist was, if she won, is her lieutenant governor. And it's like a running mate. It's like vice president and president. That isn't the way they do it in Idaho. In Idaho, they have separate elections for governor and lieutenant governor. So what you got here is a power grab because the Republican governor has a certain set of criteria dealing with the pandemic, and the lieutenant governor doesn't like the way he's doing it, so she turned on him and said, fuck you. And she's leading the charge like these freedom fighters and patriots here in Michigan are. She's leading the protests against the governor. Oh, my God. Word on the street is they don't speak to each other anymore. They're like at coffee at the Capitol, and he's like, oh, yeah, he probably wants to dump a roofie in her drink. But holy crap, this is incredible. Major fight underway, and it's not like this Republican governor who is what the hell is this guy's name? Brad Little. It's not like he's been like super strict about the pandemic. Hang on, I got to turn my volume up. Sorry about that. It's not like he's been super strict about how to deal with the pandemic, but this lieutenant governor is taking no prisoners and really going for it here. And here's how it is. The Idaho Statesman's Cynthia Sewell reported last week that the two Republicans haven't spoken in 3 weeks. Janice McGeachin is the lieutenant governor. She is personally defying the executive orders to control the spread of coronavirus. She left the 2020 legislative session early. The lieutenant governor presides over the Senate to attend to her family business, which is a restaurant and pub in Idaho Falls. She's attended or supported the rallies opposing. Can you imagine if Gilchrist in Michigan, the lieutenant governor, was the one like at the steps of the Capitol with the nude Barbie doll with the noose around its neck saying, yeah, fuck this bitch. Yeah, that's what she's doing. Oh, my God. The lieutenant governor wrote an op-ed piece which began, as lieutenant governor, I am one heartbeat away from the governor's chair. This person wrote in the article, message received. And in case you somehow missed that shot at Little, well, then McEachin made sure you wouldn't miss this one. Quote, I lose sleep at night because the heavy hand of our government is hurting so many Idahoans. That's what they're known as. Whew. What has Little done to provoke such reaction from Lieutenant Governor McEachin? On first glance, not much. He issued a stay-at-home order for the state March 25th. Let it lapse on April 30th. On that date, he unveiled a 4-stage process to reopen the state, beginning with the first phase that allowed 90% of Idaho's businesses to reopen. So this Republican governor, this Little is, I mean, fuck, he let it lapse April 30 and said, all right, 90% of the businesses are open. It's only like 100 people live in Idaho to begin with, so whatever. But despite that, this crazy bitch lieutenant governor is like, fuck him, man. He's an asshole. Over this past weekend, perhaps due in part to McEachin's criticism, Little moved the state to the second stage of the reopening process and moved the reopening stages, the reopening of bars up to stage 3 instead of stage 4. So he's like saying, all right, maybe I should quicken the pace here, or I might lose this next election, because they're indicating that she's going to run against him. But what a crazy setup for Idaho politics. Who knew? A lot of people are saying that, yeah, she's doing just that. The defiance against this guy. She's also the one who's like lockstep with Trump, okay? He's not like she's like at the rally with the fucking AK-47 waving the Trump flag. And he's like, well, what the fuck? I'm a Republican too. Yeah, but not like me, man. I got a dick here instead of a vagina. Yeah, I got a monster truck. Open the state. He's like, I did open the state, you crazy bitch. What the fuck is wrong with you? Fuck you. I'm going to be in the election. Man, I want to go to Idaho and watch this shit unfold. Woo! Nice job. All right, where are we? I'm getting some feedback on the kidney story. Let's see. I want to make sure it's not anonymous. This person wrote, just busted my dad out of the hospital on Monday after 7 days. His quack doc put him on a potassium pill for 6 months due to low test results. Then he had gotten a stomach bug and became dehydrated and sent him straight into kidney failure. When the ambulance drove away with him, I honestly didn't think I would see him again. Just awful. His creatine kidney function test was 11.57 when he was admitted. Normal is 1.3. Last Friday, he was at 8. So the downtrend in his numbers hopefully means that he won't need dialysis long term. Fuck. Currently doing dialysis treatment 3 days a week, 3.5 hours a day to be able to get around with a walker, and he has begun making urine again. So I'll be saving my kidney in case he needs it down the road because 67 is too young. I really want my parents to live forever. And all of this rambling. Melissa writes, I think it's awesome what you and Diane are doing. Thank you. If my dad wasn't able to recover or get better on his own, I would want people lining up to help him like you're helping your friend. You're the best at rallying the troops, and this is why so many of us love you and your family. God bless. Signed, Melissa. P.S. I still hate Gretchen Whitmer. Yeah, I know you do, but sometimes you're dumb. Can't get it through your thick girl skull that she's right and you're wrong. All right. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. All right. Send your emails, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Leave the comments on the Facebook. Shit. You know what? I was going to get to Facebook comments from yesterday. Where is that? Facebook Feedbook. Facebook Feedbook is what I just said. What a fucking moron. Facebook Feedback. I think I've actually wrecked that one before. I'll get to yesterday's feedback. It's kind of like the mailbag. I can't even say that word. Facebook Feedback. Right? I keep wanting to say Facebook Feedbook. I don't know what my problem is today. You can tell this podcast has gone on way too long. I spilled a lot of shit for you. I asked my mom and dad, my dad and stepmom about having sex. Jesus. All right. One more sponsor. One more, I should say, group of sponsors. I got two to talk about now. I don't want you to skip ahead. If you're listening to the audio podcast, downloadable at ericzaneshow.com, don't you ever skip my ads, okay? You might do that on Rogan, but not me. Of course, Rogan's got so much money, he only puts ads at the beginning, and then he rolls the show out. I don't have that luxury. I got to eat. Maybe one day I'll be able to just do one or two ads, and then the show makes so much money I don't need to. But I kind of like it this way, too. Gives you a real personal, homespun feeling to this shit show. Interesting story. As radio continues to circle the drain, the latest stock prices for the big ones are still in the shitter. CBS Entercom is at about $1.50 a share. Go ahead and drop a couple $100. You can own a sizable portion of Entercom radio. Nobody listens to the radio these days. It's remarkable. It's so sad. The industry that I once loved is ruined, decimated by greed, poor management. You know what radio stations need to run the radio stations? Not only people, but radio people. When I worked for Town Square, some fucking bunch of bankers bought that shit show and ruined the company. When Town Square was owned by Regent, the guy in charge was a wizard of a man by the name of Bill Stakelin. He sold that shit show. It was great then, but he sold it to Town Square, who fucking ruined it. Their stock is in the shitter. About $4 a share for that disaster. Cumulus, another mess. Fuck. Cumulus got out of bankruptcy, reorganized, eliminated like $10 million in debt, or billion with a B in debt, reemerged with a nice, healthy stock price of $20 a share. Go look at Cumulus stock price now. It's like $3 a share. They ruined it again. iHeart, same fucking shit show. Shame on you. However, a guy set up shop in his basement 11 years ago. He was a little-known actor, did some MMA shit, did some reality shows, kind of like a mid-level comic. He started podcasting. His name's Joe Rogan. And this crazy son of a bitch absorbs information like a sponge. He reads everything. It all gets stored in that big, beautiful brain of his. Once a week, he sits down with a guest. They just fucking talk about shit. It's great. It's not exactly something that I make an appointment listen to, but a lot of people do. I was introduced to that one dude who's brilliant. Jordan something. Jordan, the fuck is his name? He's great. I've learned a lot of shit on Rogan's show. And I think he does a really good show. And he has comics on there, and he'll sit there for like three or 4 hours, and they get stoned to the bone, talking about weirdo shit. It's just great. Well, he's made a fortune. One of thousands of podcasters that have found their way in the world when an industry like radio has just been decimated. It's gone. It's dying. Podcasting, huge. Joe Rogan just signed a deal with Spotify, okay? And what he signed was he signed the rights to Spotify exclusively, so that the only place you will be able to get the Rogan show in the near future is Spotify. Brilliant. He built it, parlayed it, still owns it, and sold his rights, his content, to every episode of the last 11 years to Spotify for $100 million. Yeah, that is great. Absolutely fantastic. What started as a notion in his MMA brain, in his Brazilian jiu-jitsu brain, as an idea, 11 years later, He just cashed in for $100 million. That is exciting. Why not me? Why not you? Oh, that is so great. And it still is. It can still make money on it. I mean, it isn't like he isn't. It's still his product. I love that. You won't find that story in radio anywhere. Compare that to Howard Stern. You know, you think about Howard Stern. When he went to Sirius, he signed initially, I believe it was a 5-year, $500 million deal. And it was just Sirius at the time. Now it's Sirius XM. Content is king, ladies and gentlemen. The proof is right there. I love that so much. It makes me very happy when I hear those stories. It's a little bit of a shame because radio is dead, and that's the industry that I made my name in, and I was fortunate to be able to parlay that, scoop up what I've learned, and plop it down here and in my own little hayseed mom-and-pop corner of the world. Seems to work. I'm very happy and lucky. Every day I podcast, I think about radio. And I had a conversation with my wife the other day. I go, I'm to a point now where I'm so busy and so deeply embedded, busting my ass building this thing, there is no chance. I could, parlay it on the side and do a radio job. Fuck. I have a hard enough time getting the fucking Insane Asylum done for Q100, a 1-hour radio show. I think I might have squeezed myself out of that industry. And you know what? I probably should. I probably shouldn't even be in it. I don't think there's any place there for me. I've fucking been dogging the industry for I don't even think anybody wants me there. Fuck it. Jesus. All right. I didn't plan on going off on that tangent. But I did, so it's fun. Thank you to TC Paintball online at tcpaintball.com. Rick is just chomping at the bit. To get back to paintball activity. Before you know it, we're going to have a paintball war at TC Paintball, and I can't wait. We're going to shoot video to show you how fun it is because it is all good. Nobody's going to get sick. We're going to take care of everything it needs to get taken care of. 616-249-8227. It'll be safe. It'll be fun. TC Paintball is probably one of my businesses on the show that's been hit the hardest. He hasn't gotten a penny. Except for people buying paintball in advance, which I still encourage you to do at tcpaintball.com. If you play at my paintball events, which is $35 a pop, if you get a $100 gift card, you're basically going to pay for the next 3 adventures that we have. If you would be so inclined and have the extra income, if you're not hurting, tcpaintball.com. Get a $100 gift card for just $90 at tcpaintball.com. Thank you, Rick. Keep your nose to the grindstone. We're going to push you right on through. As always, one of my early sponsors on the show, I don't know what happened. I think I just had a stroke. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. They're there 5 days a week for you, fixing cars. Now, if you're on 44th Street in West Michigan, headed east, you go over 131. There's 2 streets. One is Clay. What's the other one? You go past 2 side streets on the left, divided road. And then you'll see Stafford. Make a left on Stafford if you're headed east, or if you're headed west, you would make a right on Stafford just before 131. There they are. Okay? They have all the protocols in place to keep you safe. You can just drive there and drop off your car. There's a couple things you got to do to make that happen. But if you want, if you're like, I don't want to leave the house, you need to call them at 616-202-5538. They're going to come get your car. Fix it. You pay over the phone, they sanitize it, and bring it back. How about that? All right. A lot of fun today. I'm telling you, I've really enjoyed the dynamic, but now it's time for a...
Facebook fight. You are wrong and I am right. You are a stupid prick. You can suck my big fat dick. This is another Facebook fight.
Thank you.
Just a rude person you are.
From yesterday's show. The live stream on Facebook. As people watch, they leave comments. Some sit there and complain about everything. Amanda. Amanda. If that's you, welcome. Glad you left a comment. When I finish the podcast, the live stream, as I get ready to post the audio to all the podcasting platforms that exist, just search Eric Zane Show. I then look at the comments. I see what you were discussing, what you're talking about, what you were thinking about what I was saying. I can't do it while I'm doing the show. It would be boring. I'd be sitting looking at a screen. Don't you hate that? You watch somebody's live stream, and they just sit there and, like, look down at the comments, and they go, ha ha, yeah, Steve, ha ha, it's terrible. So I go back and I read them, and then I highlight them, and then I read them the next day. Odam, or I think it's Odam, he's brand new to the podcast. That's a dude who found out about me on Q100. I don't know how he got onto this topic, but he said this: titties ain't nothing but sacks of fat. I had that the look on my face then that I have on my face now, and I wrote, "Dear God, who says this?" In addition, that same person, I was talking about walking around with your pistol because Prince Arming, as one of my sponsors, wants to teach you to, of course, get you certified to have your pistol concealed, the CPL. And I said, open carry sucks, so conceal it. And he wrote, LOL, ain't nothing wrong with open carry. Hopefully someday we can be as brave as Kansas or one of the other states that allows open or concealed without special licenses. If you legally can buy a gun, you can carry it. All right, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with not having to have a permit. I agree with you. We shouldn't have a permit to have to walk around with a concealed pistol. I wholeheartedly agree with that. But as for carrying it open, it's just douchey. Dude, come on. First and foremost, you look like a douchebag. Second of all, I wrote, are you crazy? There's plenty wrong with open carry. Reason one, bad guy sees you and you die first, dum-dum. Have you lost your mind? I said, go take the class and hide that thing. Come on, man. Jesus. Jason says, hard to hide a pistol when it's a full frame. Oh, come on. Do you want me to go get mine and show you how I don't have time. I'll do it next time. Dude, you got to get the right holster, first of all. If you have a good holster, you can very easily hide that thing full frame. I don't care if it's a 50 cal, 44 Magnum. Absolutely, you can hide it. You just got to find the right thing. It was dude who said robot made from Spaceballs. Yes, that was it, man. And I wrote, that's it. Holy shit, you did it. When he told me that Pelosi looked like Dot Matrix from Spaceballs, I was floored. I couldn't believe it. I got to talking about Whitmer again, or the stay-at-home order, and Zaniac Nick is just such a cock. He's such a patriot. My God. And he wrote, pucker up, Whitmer. Eric's going tongue deep in that sphincter. And first of all, that's an awful thing to say. Just because I support the Democratic governor, even though I am a Republican, and I'm smarter than you, on stay-at-home, he always says something terrible like that because, as I said, he's a cock. And I wrote, you are gross and stupid. Go get another tattoo of Ben Franklin's dick, freedom fighter. He's got this dumb shit tattoo that says, like, don't tread on me, with his stupid snake with a fucking M16 or some shit. It's like, oh, yeah, you're a fucking patriot. I forgot. Jason, hey, will you make that, will that make a pancake if you don't have a waffle iron? He's talking about yesterday's chaffle recipe. What the fuck? Recipe of a blueberry chaffle. Absolutely. You put that damn deal and make a waffle out of it. Yes. So good, man. So good. Blueberry chaffle. The shit. I was talking about the 99-year-old old-timers trying to walk 100 laps around the track in Portland, Oregon, raising money for the Sunshine Division. Local charity helps the hungry in Portland, Oregon. Jeff writes, World War II vets are the best. Think of what they did when they returned. They understand about helping others. Yeah, those are the patriots. Unlike, I got a tattoo, so I'm a patriot now. Fuck yes, I'm a patriot because I got a stupid dipshit tattoo and I'm ugly. All right, yeah, absolutely. I try to get a hold of old Bud Lewis out there, and I'm having great difficulty. Regarding Jackie's car that I'm selling, or I did sell to Zaniac Kevin, dipshit Nick writes, car for sale, fresh oil change, comes with exclusive glitter oil. Well done. You redeemed yourself there because you pissed me off earlier in the comments. I wanted to smack your fucking bearded mouth. All right. Can you believe it? It's done. Yep. Oh, boy, we went a little long today, but that sure was fun. I enjoyed spending time with you. I enjoyed, if you're just tuning in, the go back to the first thing I talked about for the first half hour of this podcast. It is a life-changing story. It did not lay flat. I know it. It was sometimes I oversell and underdeliver. I know that. I know sometimes it's clickbaity. That's kind of the nature of the beast. But there was no overselling the opening story about Diana and I getting smacked on the head by God himself to dive into the world of living donor kidney donation to a person that I haven't set eyes on in 32 years. It is so exciting. I'm just stoked about this. So happy and glad to be part of this. And I can't wait to tell you about every update, and just keep your fingers crossed. Pray that there is no heartache, because the screening process is really, really vigorous. And if they say, nope, sorry, that's it. So I'm not going to let anything get in the way of making this happy. Or making this happen, I should say. I can't even talk. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Damn it. I'm not going to get in the way of making this happy. Who says that? Shit. Okay. Taking this shit show to Patreon in mere moments. Thank you so much for being here. I haven't looked at the comments. I'm looking forward to Patreon and hearing Amanda complain about everything. Yeah. I didn't like it. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like your blue shirt. Can you change your shirt? Ugh. I don't like green grass. I think the day should be 28 hours long. I don't like 24 hours. What do you think? Shut up! All right, that's it. Bye-bye.